Laura Henry, and I am a craft dabbler. I'm also a close to my heart consultant. Today I'm going to be making a birthday pocket letter for my sister. To begin, I'm going to open up Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to size it the same size as a pocket letter card, which is 2.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. And I'm going to make 9 of these because 9 fits in a sheet. And these are like trading card sheets or protectors that you can buy for baseball cards. And when you fold them in thirds, they fit in an envelope and you can mail them. And it's kind of a trend that I'm usually late to the party. So I just started doing this about a year ago, but I know it's been around a lot longer than that. And I certainly didn't invent it. So I'm looking through my close to my heart cartridges, and I started out in the Artbooking cartridge, and I'm just looking for things that look like they would work for a birthday card or birthday theme, and then I'm going to select them. And basically at this point, I'm just finding things of a birthday nature, things that my sister might like, and I'm selecting them, and then I'll bring them into that design space, and then I'll resize them, and I'm kind of going to audition them on the cards and see what I like, and I'll rearrange them. And some of them that I chose, I designed them, had them sitting there, and I rearranged them and designed around them, and then at the last minute I got rid of them. So it isn't over till it's over. And even at that, there's one that I put on here that looks like a package, and in the end I decided it's the only one that's like that, and so I ended up getting rid of the background. I think I left the package on there, but I changed the color of the background to white to be like everything else. So the actual pocket letter, if you look at it, the end doesn't look exactly like the design because I ended up getting rid of part of it. So sometimes you can plan this all out, and then when it comes down to it, you change your mind, and that is a woman's prerogative. So now I've brought in some of the things that I liked, and I'm just resizing them to fit within the 2.5 by 3.5 inch square. And I've made several pocket letters, but I've never made one that was just solely with the Cricut. And so this is kind of a first time for me. And I've done some with jelly printing, and I've done them with card kits. I've done them, I don't know, just stickers. I use a variety of materials on the pocket cards or pocket letters, but this is the first time that's just been solely Cricut items, and I had a lot of fun. So most of the work here went in this part of it, the design phase, and now I've just opened up the Artistry cartridge, or I'm getting ready to open up the Artistry cartridge, and I'm looking for more. So there basically are 4 Cricut cartridges, or 5, that are on the market right now through Close to My Heart. And since I am a Close to My Heart salesperson, that's what I'm showing you today in hopes that you'll purchase that cartridge. But anyway, so I'm just looking through the different cartridges that Close to My Heart has for things that I like, and then I put them in, and some of them I get rid of. So to fill 9 cards, it takes quite a few things, and so I'm just going through all of my cartridges and looking, and it's very creative at this point because you get ideas not just for this, but future projects or future pocket letters. And so I really do like going through all of these icons, and you get quite a few in a single cartridge. So, and remember, these things, I could also be flattening these, and I could be printing them and then cutting them. And so you could make your cards that way, the backgrounds of your cards, and then you could put embellishments on top for layers. But I didn't do that this time. This time everything is cut and glue and put together. And you see that some of those come in really big, and you just resize them. So I just went up at the top and changed the width of the to the width of the card, and it just shrunk it down real quick. So that's the one that I don't end up using that green background in the end because it was the only one that was like that, and I just decided it looked kind of odd. So I think there's a gift in the final one, but it doesn't have that green background. So here I'm just resizing everything, and that's really the first step because if it's the wrong size and it's on there, I'm not going to know where to put it. So once I get them all resized, and then I can start kind of rearranging them and trying to decide where they go. And so I'm looking for balance here. So I don't want a heavy object that's dark or real weighty, you know, full of mass, and then have everything look lopsided. So I'm striving for balance. Um, Also, not just in the items, but in the colors. So once I get everything rearranged, then I'll go through and I'll change the colors. And I kind of went with a pink and teal theme, and so it's like a dark pink, light pink, and a dark teal, light teal, and and then with a little bit of black. And so once I get everything set the way I want and I get the icons the way I want, then I go back in and change the colors. And then when I go to put my paper in the Cricut, I choose the colors that kind of correspond. They're close, you know, and then I print them out. So my sister's 54, and so I decide I want a 54 on this somewhere, and I messed around with the numbers, and I liked those circles, and I messed around with them, and then at the end I hated them. They just looked goofy to me, and so they don't even stay in this project. I do have 54, but I believe it's from the Artistry cartridge, and I'm really loving those numbers right now. I just used them in my blessings junk journal that I made, and I like them because they kind of darken the insides of the numbers, and so you don't have as many little pieces, and then I just think they look kind of funky. So that's kind of a favorite of mine right now. And so I just go back and forth in to the images looking for just the right images, and I'm not sure if this is where I'm making the bowl of ice cream, but I thought if you're going to have cake, you've got to have ice cream. And so, nope, this is the one where I make the flowers. I just really love that. Jars are really popular right now, and I've been wanting to use that icon for quite a while. So, and my sister's a master gardener, so it will be good for her birthday. So here's where I'm making the bowl of ice cream, and I could not find a bowl of ice cream just the way I wanted it, and so I decided to make it. So I used an ice cream cone, and I'm going to take the ice cream off of it, and then I wanted to find a bowl, and I'm looking for ones that are in my Cricut cartridges. So I have a lot of other cartridges, and then I have the access, and so I have access to a lot of icons, but I wanted to use my close to my heart things. So what I'm doing is building an ice cream sundae here, and that bowl there was really a planter, and I just took it apart and just used the bowl part of it, and then I made the ice cream cone and I duplicated it so I have three, and then I'll make them different colors pretty soon. And so I'll group these all together and resize them to fit inside the card, and there I wanted a cherry on top, so I found one. And so now I'm grouped them, and now I'm resizing it to fit in the card, and now I'm going to change the colors. And I think this is pretty much the way I want it. I tinker with it just a little bit more, but now I'm going to start changing the colors. So the menu on the right has the sync column there, and when you go into sync, you can see all of the different colors that are being used, and you can drag an item to a different color and it'll sync it with whatever color you drug it to. And so I use that quite a bit when I'm recoloring things. And then the other way too is just by clicking on the actual icon in that menu, and it'll take you to a little color palette, and then you can select the color. So it looks like I'm adding something else in. The Cricut cartridges that I ended up using in this were Artbooking, Artistry, and Flower Market. And I think that's all of the cartridges that I chose from. Although there's, I think it's Going Places, and there are really a lot of neat icons in that too. But I don't think I chose any from that cartridge in this project. So once I have all these cut out, I ended up, I cut out the 2.5 by 3.5 inch squares out of white cardstock, and I used the dual action glue pen to glue all the pieces together and onto the card. And then I used some of the white and black enamel dots to decorate it. And I think that's it. I don't think I used many or any other embellishments in this. And then the back of the card you can fill with anything. So Janette Lane is the one that started pocket letters, and you can subscribe to her, and you can also I think there's like things you can buy from her. She has a store, and I've subscribed to her, and she gives you lots of ideas on what you can put in your pocket letters, and there's lists of things that you can put in there. And it's kind of a pen pal situation. And now my sister and I trade back and forth, and that's kind of a sure thing because we know we're going to get the same quality things from one another and that will follow through. Whereas sometimes when you're trading with a stranger, you don't always get what you put out, and people don't always follow through with their commitments. So I mean, I'm all for people making pen pals and sending pocket letters to one another, but I really like having my sister because we trust one another, and also we take breaks for the summer, and so it's a kind of a mutual agreement that we have. Although this is a surprise and this won't be posting until after she's received the pocket letter. So there's Facebook groups for this, and you can trade with other people and show people what you've made, and it's a lot of fun. There's a whole community of pocket letter makers out there, and so I just encourage you to give this a try. It's a lot of fun. And oh, back to putting things in the back of it. So I put dark chocolate and a couple different teas in the back of mine. Plus I gave her a gift certificate, and I put it in the back, and I kind of wrapped a ribbon around it because I wanted her to know what was there. And I thought, oh, maybe she'll just pull out the ribbon, and then the gift certificate will come out of the back and she'll see it. And when she called me when she received it, she had saw the um, gift certificate in the back. So you can load lots of things in these. You could put gum or candy. You can, I've cut little embellishments like extra and put them in the back so that she could have extra embellishments. You could put washi tape, uh, string. You could wrap it around a card and stick it in the back. So there's lots of neat things that you can do with this to share some of your supplies. And then when you get them back, you can add to some of your supplies with things that you don't necessarily have. So pocket letters are definitely a lot of fun, and I'm glad I make them. So here I'm rearranging and editing, excuse me, and I'm getting the sizing right. I'm looking at things to make sure they're balanced. And of course, at the end, when I'm gluing these down, I can always change my mind and put them in different orders. Looks like I'm over here syncing now at the right again. There's too many colors there. So I don't want to have to go and pick paper like 100 different colors. So I want to stick to 4 to 6 colors. And with the close to my heart paper, it's double-sided, so you get a little bit of a different shade of the same color just by turning the paper over, and I do that quite a bit. And so I'm just going to go through here and kind of sync things and try to get them in fewer colors just to simplify the cutting process. And like I said, I'm sticking to kind of the dark pink, light pink, and the dark teal, light teal. And there's a few exceptions because there are some things that just need to be black. And then the ice cream, you want to have chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and then I made the other ice cream mint just because it went with the color scheme, but I just know that my sister would never eat my mint ice cream, so I hope she'll overlook that in the pocket letter. So I'm just continuing to change, and changing that sweet to black was more about balance because I have the 54 is black and the border around the banner in the middle row is black, and so I just really wanted to have some balance there with that color. And so I'm just kind of fine-tuning at this point all of those colors, and I'm about ready to send this to the Cricut to cut it. And then I'm going to glue it together and assemble it, and I didn't video that because it really is just gluing paper together and gluing it on a card and then sticking it in the sleeve. So once it was all done, it did fold up and fit into an envelope nicely, and I was able to mail it. It does cost a little bit of extra postage to mail something like this, but as long as you don't have a lot of brads and pokey things in it, it can just go in a regular envelope. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope you'll join me again soon for another video. Thank you.